welcome back to a little house. This is part 2. I was not gonna do this one, but then I decided really I should, so I can show you how I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm using carpenter's wood glue, excuse me, wood glue, and I'm doing this with just an old brush I had. And by the way, when you get through and rinse it, it's gonna be fine, okay? To give you an idea what I'm doing, and I just pour a glove in there. I can even talk, can I? And I just want to be sure that that glove is even distribution everywhere. And then when I get through with it, I need some more. Well, I'll just put a little bit more on it, okay? A little bit at a time. Because these little pieces are so big, you don't want to do a little bit, just a little bit here and there. So, that's why, and as you can tell, I'm taking it to the end. See? Right here. I hope you can see it. Because it has plenty, but it's not oversaturated. This is what I wanted y'all to do. And we're working on the base of the house, okay? So I thought, no, let me just do this one again, and that way you'll be able to know what I'm, excuse me, what I'm actually talking about and see what I'm actually doing, okay? Now this kind of operation, we're gonna do this treatment to all of them, all the pieces that I ask you to do, and all of them basically are gonna have 3 pieces, okay? Because I want them nice, and I want them nice and strong, and that's what we're doing. We're making them nice and strong. Also, I'll show you here in just a minute, because I gotta get this done here. See, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. I say I buy this stuff because I do use it a lot, and believe me, sometimes I buy 2 gallons at a time, depending on my project. It's cheaper, really, in the long run, than if you go buy. For this one, if you can buy, go Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, and get a gallon, I say go for it. Because really, that way you have plenty. You don't have to go buy the little bitty bottles. And I think this bottle cost me about, I think it was like $19 or something like that. It wasn't too bad. And usually, if you just do small, projects that last you a long time, like I said, I know I have not done any videos in my big projects, but I do a lot of big projects. And of course, it's so much cheaper this way than buy a bunch of little bitty bottles here in there, okay? And as you can see, just try to go and just make sure it goes down into the edge, because and there's quite a bit in there. It's just it's not, but I don't want it lumpy whatsoever. And it's a little bit kind of, hard, not hard, but it kind of pulls a little bit when you're doing it. But that's okay, okay? It's the end result that we want, and it's what we need. I hope you're going to enjoy doing that. I tell you, it's so fun to do stuff like this. And like I said, even if it's for yourself, because, excuse me, let me get a little bit more in here. Okay, I think maybe that's enough, maybe not, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. And, what can I recycle? I mean, there's so much trash in the world already. And I'm not speaking about just regular trash. But, there's so much going on out there, and we need to have something. So why not recycle and at least help the earth, okay? So that's just my idea of stuff. So I'm gonna do only this one, okay? Because, like I said, it's really, but I wanted you to see what I'm doing. And if you don't have one of just an old brush, buy yourself a cheap one, okay? You don't need any fancy brush for your glue brush. It's just not worth it. Okay, well, you'll be surprised what this little bit of, okay, also, I try to get the front and the sides to be the smoothest of the, of the boards. Okay, my next one, this one is going left to right. My next one is a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And I also want to be sure to put it, excuse me, I'll cut it later. This is my middle one, and this one's going up and down. Okay? And what I'm going to do right now is get it in there just as good as I can possibly can. Okay? To kind of tack a little bit before you actually put this, the third one. And that's what I want to tell you, because the third one, and you want to make sure that everything, you know, is nice on the sides, that they're fitting very nicely. Like I said, this one is a little bit too big, but I'll cut it out, the right side there. And I know how to do it. It's no big deal. So I can get that done. But if you can try to get it all done, and actually I cut mine with a serrated knife. It was so much quicker to do. So you might be able to do the same thing. Okay? Alrighty, let's see on the other side. Let me turn this, excuse me. Okay, see? Whoops. So what I'll do now, because if I don't put something on, it's gonna come up. It needs a lot of weight on it. I will go ahead and put this piece in here now and make sure that it's good in there, and it's going to be nice and dry before I put my other one. And then that way, and then put the weight again. Like I said, each step takes a little bit, but hey, you know, we'll get there, I promise you. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it now on a table that I have, put a bunch of heavy books on it, especially around the edges and here. Make sure it catches everything. And tomorrow morning, this is already, you know, Saturday afternoon late, so tomorrow morning be ready for me to put the second one. Then I'll do the same thing, you know, and by the end of the day, probably be, you know, just fine to do whatever else I want to do to it. But I thought I'll go ahead and do this one for you so you know, and you have an idea what I did to it. Okay, so round 2, and we'll get to round 3 next time. See you guys.